Welcome back. Now, amid calls for reforms in Nigeria's judicial system, the National Judicial Council, NJC, recently made a significant move that may reshape the future of judicial appointments nationwide. For the first time in a long while, the NJC has invited members of the public to comment on the suitability or otherwise of candidates shortlisted for appointment into various judicial offices across the country. Now, the new openness in the recruitment process is expected to promote transparency, public trust, and judicial accountability in line with global best practices. Now, legal luminaries in the country have reacted to this move by the NJC. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Monday Ubani, says by allowing the public to contribute to the vetting of judges, the NJC has shown its willingness to deepen democratic participation and rebuild public confidence on the bench, especially as the nation's judiciary faces intense criticism. He also commended the NJC's readiness to embrace transparency and to allow the people who are the ultimate beneficiaries of justice to have a say in who sits in judgment over them. Well, joining me now to discuss more on this is Monday Ubani himself, senior advocate of Nigeria. He joins us from Benin. Mr. Ubani, thank you very much for coming on the program. So you've highlighted, some of the, should I say, the advantages or the pros of this new initiative by the NJC. But can you shed more light on it, why you think this is actually the best move that the NJC has made?
Yeah, thank you for having me, DEJI. The most important thing for me is the sensitiveness of the NJC to public reaction on the recruitment process of judges in Nigeria. You know that over time there has been these criticisms that the recruitment process of judges in Nigeria lacks transparency and that there is undue preference for mediocrity in favor of meritocracy. You know that most judges are other children, nieces or cousins of very important personalities in the country. There has been this criticism over time. And the truth of the matter is also that there is a falling standard in terms of quality of delivery, in terms of quality judgment. If you compare it to what we used to have in the 80s and in the 70s, So the NJC is also worried concerning the recruitment process, and they have come up as okay, since we are sensitive to input when people make suggestions. Now we will need input of members of the public, the stability of any of those nominees. Anytime we publish names of those we want to employ, we will need input because these people, you live with them, and one way or the other you must have had an experience with them, while in their judicial function and all that. So you have a right now to make an input, and they will take that into consideration. So I think that it's something that is worthy of commendation. I mean, in other countries, judges are even elected. There is a process of making sure that before you become a judge, member of the bench, you pass through rigorous process of getting you in. You must be a person of unquestionable character and questionable learning and the integrity. These are issues, we have,
but don't you think this is also
so
going
I'm
to
very
create,
happy that NJC
don't you think this may create problems too for the NJC? Because when appointments are announced and then you have to wait for members of the public to make their comments before probably confirming the appointments and all of that. I mean, you could have situations where even those who do not like you, not because you are not good, but probably just do not like you, they may put in petitions, and that this could, lead to, they may put in comments now, and that this could lead to delays and sometimes confusion, if you like, where you would have a number of people speaking for and against an individual and all of that.
What it means that there's going to be timeline for all this. And of course, they are not ignorant of the fact that there may be abuse in the process, where people just out of sheer jealousy, just want to defame a character, who want to say anything that is clearly unsubstantiated against a nominee. And that's why they say that, look, the process is that you must put whatever you want to say against a candidate in a verifying affidavit, meaning that you must swear an oath to an oath that this is the truth. Truth are the facts that you know to be true. So if they find out that there's no truth in whatever you are, of course you will be subject to perjury. You'll be tried for perjury, because it's a very serious business. You don't come and begin to run down a personality or character of an individual just for the sake of it. We have had similar, even when you have been vetted for censorship. There have been petitions where people just write unnecessary because of the fact that you have disagreement with somebody. You just now feel that this is an opportunity to get to that person by writing unsubstantiated allegation. If you do that, of course they always throw it out. So I'm saying this one is going to be under verifying affidavit. So you swear an oath that what you're saying is the truth. And if you find out that you are lying, of course you'll be charged for perjury. And so it's not something that that will create any unnecessary problem for the system. And as I said, the position is that it's good. There will be a timeline for that. They have timeline within which to dispose of any public complaint. If you have anything, say it under, then you'll be called upon to come with your documentary or oral evidence to substantiate. You can't substantiate that within that timeline, the matter will be dismissed, and then you face the legal consequences of lying against the nominee. So that's what I think. So there won't be much problem. It's good to have that input, because there are many personalities, they have actually deployed into the judiciary that are not, their characters and all that, is questionable.
Now, doesn't the NJC on its own also carry out some kind of vetting before these appointments are confirmed?
They are not God. They're human beings, they are limited, times of space and the other factors. So that's why they say, look, do you have any, you may be living in the same neighborhood with this individual that you want to make a choice. Is there any adverse comment you want to make concerning? Is there anything you know that we don't know? They will do theirs, quite all right. But information from the members who may have done one thing or the other with these nominees will go a long way. So they are not God. They can't know everything concerning an individual. So throwing it open. But as I said earlier, the issue of abuse, and I share your sentiment. I also share your concern, DEJI, that we must be very careful not to use the opportunity to defame characters and then run down a personality and create a doubt in the mind of members of the public, about a personality that has been nominated for such an onerous, responsibility. It's a very grievous responsibility that for you to be a judge, and somebody has no reason whatsoever to run down that individual because you have maybe a business agreement, that did not work out, or you have had a quarrel with him or her and all that. Then you now feel that this is the time for me to get at that individual. If you do that without any serious evidence to back up whatever you are saying, you go down for it. You go down, and so that system must also take care of those who want to lie against a nominee.
So how does this actually build confidence in the judiciary?
Now, what it does, and as I said earlier, is in accordance with best global practice. We have it in other countries where even judges are elected.
Elected, yes.
There is an input of, yes, people are, you have an input as to who, it's a responsibility that, it's a society driven. You are coming to render public service. You are coming to adjudicate on matters of, between parties. This is issue of justice. So it's not something that is consigned primarily to lawyers and judges themselves. Members of the public must have an input as to the character. Apart from the issue of, the law, the integrity of the person coming to man the bench is also of importance. So people who live around you, who know you may have done one or two things, people in your church and all that, your mosque, who know this person, can say, look, we don't trust this person, or we trust him. Some people can put in on, yeah, this is the right choice. That this person has the knowledge, he has integrity, he has character. So these are issues. And so I see it as building confidence. A lot of people are no longer interested in coming to the judiciary for resolution of dispute because of lack of confidence. People are losing confidence because of things that has been going on within the judicial sector. So this is part of the measures in order to ensure that we rebuild the confidence of Nigerians towards, after all, you had an impute towards this man who has been made a judge. You made an impute. His name was published. What did you know? And what did you say concerning him? Did you say anything? So you don't have any reason now to complain if the person turns out to be a bad judge. So it's a mechanism for building confidence. It's a mechanism for having an impute of variety of persons towards the character of it. So if you pass through that process and you become a judge, just like to be a senior advocate of Nigeria, your names are published and people are asked to make an impute of the character of this individual. So if you pass through that process and become a senior advocate, you are a leader in every respect. You have not been found wanting in character and in learning, and in every aspect of national life, you are qualified, and that's why we are gazetted, and that's why there are few in the country. So a judge passing through that process will once again guarantee the confidence that we need to rebuild concerning our judiciary, which over time now people are beginning to say negative things about. So I think it's something that is worthy of comment. Let's try it. Let's try the process and see how it goes. Rather than probably stop, arguing against it at this.
It's really good. I mean, it's a good idea, something new, and there's nothing wrong in trying it. Let's also hope that the public will also play their role and take up the responsibility, because sometimes you have these things in place, but people don't actually use them. People don't take advantage of them at all to make comments or what have you. Let's hope the public too will play their own role. Mr. Monday Ubani, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, thank you very much for your time, and thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, DEJI, thanks for having me. Good night.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, that's how much we can take on the program this week. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.